Welcome back to the channel, everyone. So outside of talking about the latest theatrical releases and the hottest series streaming, I'd like to talk about Arkansas films. I am based in Arkansas and definitely want to support Arkansas filmmakers. So today I'll be talking about The Forest Through the Trees. Stick around. Hey everyone, so if you're new here, my name is Luke. I am based in Arkansas, and one thing I want to do with my channel is support Arkansas filmmakers. So today I will be talking about Jason Pitt's new film, The Forest Through the Trees. So first off, I want to thank Jason for allowing me early access of checking this out. I've reviewed other works from Jason, so I'll link those below, so be sure to check those out. And I'll also link any upcoming screenings for this film, so please be sure to support Arkansas films. The whole cast and crew, they're based in Arkansas. Many of them I've met before, so it was great to see them back on screen, see what they were working on. So let's get into The Forest Through the Trees. So this film follows Chloe and her stepdad Ken as they are searching for the disappearance of Kathy, Chloe's mother and Ken's wife. After a painful year, and with the help of Chloe's friend Ava, they investigate a clue that leads them to a terrifying demon cult. So I will do my absolute best to go spoiler free on this, keep this pretty short and tight, because I definitely want people to go screen this film. If this film hits distribution, be sure to support it. So let's get into this. So this film primarily follows Chloe and Ken as our two main people. Chloe being the daughter, so much of this is weighing on her shoulders because this film follows her as her mother disappears overnight. We do get a little bit of a backstory, so we know that her mother is part of some weird cult potentially. We know that we spend some time with someone close to her as she's giving birth to her daughter, and we don't really know like what's going on there. It's a very tight intro, but we do get an interesting opening because this movie does focus around heterochromia, which is essentially like someone that has born with two different colors eyes, and that plays a big part later on into this movie. But then we fast forward into the future where it seems that Kathy and Chloe are living what seems to be a happy life. She got away from whatever was holding her at bay. Chloe's now grown up. Kathy is with someone named Ken, and we'll get more into Ken in just a second. But that night, she receives something that startles her and then just sets her off to where she needs to get away. Essentially, she wants to keep Chloe and Ken safe as they have this family that they've started, and she just wants to protect that. And family and love are big themes of this movie, as well as loss, because Chloe is in this state of being older now. She never knew who her real father was. Her mother would never share this information. Ken doesn't necessarily know anything going on about this. And so Ken and Chloe don't really have the strongest relationship, and we see that throughout the length time of this film because Ken does care about both of them very, very much, but Chloe is in this age and this state of life where she just wants answers, and she just feels like she's never been given that, and it's affected her and the relationships that she has, especially that with Ava, someone that she's grown very fond of. But we see a lot of this kind of unravel and then come to other lights as this movie goes on. So Ken, he has such a fascinating background because we get a lot of backstory with him. Ken is former military, so we see that he struggles a lot with his own nightmares, his own depression, his own addictions. We see him going through like alcoholism and just ways to kind of keep the nightmares at bay while he is basically going through the loss of not knowing what happened to Kathy. And so he's battling with that through his connections and fighting his own demons, but he also wants to be there for Chloe, and we see that struggle between them. And I will say, like, for those thematic elements of this movie and these two characters, that is definitely one of the strongest points of this, is seeing how they bond one another. And this movie has different feels to it. It starts off as almost this slow burner as we're trying to build up like the backstories of where they're located, kind of discovering that Chloe, is taking heir to this cabin that her mother owned that she never knew about, which leads them to go on the search for Kathy. And then once we get there, that's where we spend a high runtime of this film is within this secluded area in the forest. And that's when we meet a lot of these new characters. Scott Doss being one of them, playing Julian, which is essentially this cult leader. His character was quite entertaining for sure. Very creepy, weird feel. He definitely has that kind of leader, like leading this team of these people that follow him. There were elements about his character I didn't quite care for. There was almost this comedic presence with his voice and the persona that reminded me of other actors. And maybe that was the purpose, I don't know. Like a lot of times in these horror films, you get some dark comedy elements. But there was something about his character that threw me out of this film. It was hard to like hold on to what was going on in certain moments. We also have Olivia Disney coming back as Ava. So Olivia Disney is one I'm familiar with through some of Jason's other works and someone I've met. Super excited to check out her performance, and she does deliver. I do wish we got a little bit more from her. And I only say that because of what I have seen her do in other films that Jason and Olivia have worked on together. But she is still a standout and a familiar face, so I think a lot of people that follow Jason and his work are going to connect with that. That element as well. Then once we get into the later half of this movie definitely goes into a different spin, especially with Ken's character having a military background. We get a lot more action moments, and that's where we get a lot of the VFX come into play once we get Ken finding this location. And then at the same time we have this cult that is trying to summon this demon, and I won't go into the spoilers there, but you do get to see more characters there and more moments of what's happening, and it becomes this game of like, who's really in control here? Like what is this outcome going to be? It leaves you a little bit tense because you don't know, like, is this going to be some sort of demonic possession? Are they going to kill everyone? That's what you're kind of on your edge of the seat trying to understand what's going to go on. And all in all, I think with the thematic elements that you get in this movie and the subject matters, it's very consistent with Jason's work. I mean, he definitely has his voice, and it follows suit with a lot of the themes of his other movies, and you get that feel and you understand like Jason's voice from this. And really outside of that, to me, like looking at this from a film reviewer, film critic's perspective, it's mostly nitpicky things that just I kind of wish Jason and his team could have spent a little bit more time on. Not that it's deal breakers or anything, because everyone gives their all in this, especially Chloe and Ken, these two lead stars in this, have a lot of weight on their shoulders to carry this film because it's really their relationship, and the audience wants to see how that's going to unfold at the end. So once again, thank you so much, Jason, for letting me check out Forest Through the Trees. Definitely want to check out. Super proud of Jason and everyone that worked on this to put out a feature film. I will say, like, once you get to the forest and the cabin, like that part's really cool because the details that you see in the background of like how they kind of set up this location was really, really well done. Very kind of creepy and spooky, and you get that horror feel from this once you get to those moments of the film. So props to the team that worked on this. Can't wait to see more Arkansas films. If you are an Arkansas filmmaker and you'd love for me to talk about one of your movies, definitely reach out to me. Let me know in the comments below. If you've seen this one, try not to spoil it for people, but let's have meaningful discussions in the comments below. Hopefully I can make it out to a screening this year so I can actually see this on a big screen and get to meet everyone and talk with everyone. So that's something I'm looking forward to later this year. Once again, thank you for stopping by. Be sure to subscribe and like this video. It helps out this channel so much. And I'll be back again to talk more movies, whether they be Arkansas movies or new movies. We'll see you soon.